Introducing the Symtec Creative Woodworking System, advanced woodworking technology that lets you enjoy the craft of making things with wood without extensive training and in a safe environment. As this demonstration shows, with the Symtec lathe you get real results in a short time.
It's very easy to use, and that's what struck me when I first saw it so many years ago. It was so easy to use. I had used a lathe at school when I was coming through school with the traditional chisels, but this one it impressed me because of its safety and there's an ease of handling.
The thing that nearly killed me was a chisel coming back at me on the old one. With the Symtec, all of the downward pressure is absorbed into the table, so the chisel, which is this anyway, this cutting tool, it's not going to come back at you. It can only go straight down. Good safety feature.
With the special tool we use for cutting on the Symtec, you can't get into much trouble. I think the worst thing that happens when you're trying to turn too quickly or dive in too quickly, the thing just jams and stops. So you start again. You can break your product, of course, but there's no great danger with it. But on the other hand, like all machinery, you've got to be sensible.
You don't have to learn how to turn. I've never turned in my life, not normal conventional turning with hand chisels. I've never done it. With this type of lathe, I had tuition for about a half an hour from the original owner, Les, and that was it. I just went ahead on my own. I bought the lathe, went home, and away I went. But with ordinary chisels, you've got to really learn how to use them. They're all different, all individuals, and this is a lot safer.
I'd never turned wood in my life, but I'm an semi-retired dairy farmer. But I had to do something when I left the farm, and this is what's eventuated. The design and everything's just evolved as we go along.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's the best thing I ever did.
The safety factor. The stylus, how you can move it, swing yourself around. You're not working over it with your tools, which they can grab or flick, and you can have an accident that easy with the old type lathe. But with this one, just take your time, be patient, and move backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. You're copying. That's the other part, that I know that I can make 10, 20 of these, they're all the same. Nobody can say, yours is bigger than mine. They've all got the same product at the end.
I just like making things out of wood. Believe it or not, I was a welder for 43 years. But I always liked wood. Even when I went to school, I liked wood. I did woodwork at school. But when I started to work, well, I became a welder, didn't I? For 40 odd years. But when I left work, when they kicked me out, I decided I'd buy a lathe and do some turning.
I enjoy the woodwork. The Symtec lathe I've got there is probably one of the safest lathes anybody could use. To make a mistake, it'd have to be a catastrophe. And the amount of things that you can do, there's no limit.
The creativeness of it was something, and I found with, unlike the conventional lathe, which I also had one of, my father-in-law gave me his lathe when he was too sick to use it, but unlike the conventional lathe with chisels and the dangers that come with that, and I tell you there are dangers, the Symtec was great. It made someone like me who was a rank amateur, knew little about it, it made me creative with the ability that I could turn things and do something really good about it. And I'm quite proud of some of the stuff I turn up now. It's good fun.
I'll just turn this on and show you that square piece of timber, and we can literally let it go into the timber, and we don't get any throwback or dig around, simply because all the forces once again are dissipated into the bed and makes it very safe for the amateur and small children.
The things that are built into the Symtec is great. The ability to sharpen the tool and have it just right on the spot, on the end of the machine, there's a grinding wheel. Makes it very convenient, again, for someone like me who's not a professional in that field. The professionals, no doubt, who do wood turning all day for their living, probably have shortcuts and have an ability to do things, but from an accountant that hadn't done anything like that all his life, it made me an expert very quickly.
At the other side of the machine there happens to be a grinding stone which can sharpen this cutter by using this as a guide.
I also do some spiral turning. There's an attachment that goes on it, and you can do spiral turning, fluting, reading, all that sort of thing, with the attachment of a router which just sort of slides along. Yeah, just all in all, it's a good machine to use. I love it.
I'm going to take more down. That's going to end up about that diameter. Then it's going to go really narrow there, as you can see, and then come out like that. So it's going to be a few cuts and it'll start, so it takes a fair bit of meat off in here.
I started off with chisels, with the chisel or standard lathe, but I find the Symtec so much more versatile. If I wanted to make a half a dozen of these, a lot of people call it a copy machine. It's not, but it has the copy facility. You can do anything you like with it, but it has also the copy facility. So these stems, I'm going to make a half a dozen at a time. And it's just so simple. Accurate, and as far as making smaller things like bowls, yes, I find it much more versatile than the chisels. And I just love it. I like to see what's inside the wood, you know, see what grain's in there, and some of it you finish it and you think, yuck. Others you think to yourself, oh, that's beautiful, you know. And you wonder how it can be kept trapped inside a tree.
So now you can see we can have a quick little goblet in very, very short time, very small wall thickness, quite a lovely little thing to make, and that can be done on all sizes, much smaller, even much larger.
Over the last 10 years I've made 4,000 articles. That's one a day, and I've had a few holidays. And now I've been making biro pens and fountain pens and very good birthday presents, Christmas presents. I've made about 200 of these all so far. I try to name the wood. I've got Australia written on the clip and Australian wood, and the overseas buyers, they reckon it's good stuff.